I'm QiQi. I am a zombie.
What?
And
Welcome back to Definitely Not Definitive. I'm Ken.
And I'm Bethany.
And we're just a giddy couple in love that loves reacting to some Genshin Impact.
We're giddy for Genshin.
Yeah, it's Triple Trailer Tuesday, people.
Woohoo.
We got another Genshin Impact character, Miscellany, to react to. So this is Jean, QiQi, and Mona. That's who we're reacting to today and checking those trailers out. And because it's Genshin Impact.
We, of course, have our cocktail.
Yeah, the QiQi Sparkling Bomb.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
If you want all of our Genshin Impact reactions, go ahead and check out the description of this video. We got a playlist there for you. Are you ready?
I am.
When Grandmaster Varka of Mondstadt's Knights of Favonius left on an expedition, his role passed to Jean, the eldest daughter of House Gunhildr. The young acting Grandmaster had become a skilled swordsman through hard work, and works harder still for the sake of the Knights. Self-sacrifice, after all, is the Dandelion Knight's path.
As the wind
Dandelion
continues
Knight?
to blow,
Got a cool
so
sword.
too shall I continue to fight.
Jean has excellent crowd control and support abilities, and can act in concert with others
Stabby
to
stabs.
suppress the enemy. Jean's elemental burst can instantly restore her health, and benefit her allies as well, making her the pillar of any team. Even when cooking, Jean is always concerned with helping others, and can accidentally make extra helpings. When Jean cooks a restorative dish perfectly, she has a chance to create 2 of them. All the better to face the battles ahead.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Jean can perform up to 5 consecutive normal attacks, dealing physical damage to enemies. Holding the attack button consumes a set amount of stamina, and unleashes a wind-infused thrust that deals high physical damage and launches enemies. Launched enemies will fall slowly for a short time, allowing Jean to control the flow of battle.
Kill the
And
blob.
give her teammates a chance to perform follow-up attacks more safely.
Cool.
Unlocking the talent Wind Companion gives Jean's normal attacks a chance to heal all party members on hit. This healing scales with Jean's attack power. Tapping her elemental skill Gale Blade causes Jean to gather formless wind on her sword and unleash a small storm, launching enemies in the direction Jean is aiming, dealing anemo damage. Holding Gale Blade constantly consumes Jean's stamina, pulling nearby enemies in front of her.
3 for 1.
And allowing her to adjust
Sweet.
the direction in which she wishes to launch them, dealing anemo damage. Enemies launched by Gale Blade will remain clumped together when they fall, making follow-up attacks easier.
Nice.
Gale Blade is a very flexible ability. Strategic use of the surrounding terrain.
Oh, off the cliff. Nice.
will amplify its effects.
Wind, hear me.
Calling upon the wind's protection, Jean creates a dandelion field, knocking nearby enemies back and dealing anemo damage. The field also quickly heals nearby allies and all party members. This healing scales with Jean's attack power. The dandelion field continuously heals characters within it, infusing them with anemo, while dealing anemo damage to enemies who enter or leave the field. Once the talent Let the Wind Lead is unlocked, using Dandelion Field will regenerate some additional elemental energy. Jean can help her team take charge, aid in their attacks, and do great damage through skillful use of her abilities. A well-rounded fighter indeed. Start the battle by using her elemental skill. Mop up nearby enemy groups and build elemental energy.
It's a big guy with a big axe.
Attack to
Yeah.
disrupt their movements, allowing your party members to switch in, attack, and deal damage. When your party members have taken significant damage, use her elemental burst at the opportune moment to repel enemies and regenerate your team's health before beginning the next round of attacks to finish the fight. Though Jean may lack
She seems handy.
experience, Mondstadt has only prospered since she assumed Varka's great responsibilities. Even I, who has seen countless people, must respect her desire to always defend Mondstadt. But unlike most who bear great burdens, this young knight has remained as tenacious as ever. How was her will molded, and what sustains her edge such that it never wears down? If fate wills it, I will find the answer to these questions.
Good luck.
Yeah. Good luck.
Children as special as QiQi are few and far between. As a zombie, time has no effect on her. But but she has difficulty committing things to memory. For QiQi, perhaps this is a good
Oh,
thing.
QiQi. Like in,
She can forget her past
Dragon Ball.
and be an herb gatherer at Boo Boo Pharmacy.
Ooh, that's an impressive bridge.
But those who underestimate her just for being a child do so at their peril.
I am QiQi. I am a zombie.
What?
And I
Yeah, you can hear that?
forgot what comes next.
With her mastery over
She's a zombie.
cryo, QiQi is a powerful asset to
She
your
doesn't
team.
look like a zombie.
Despite her size, she has the strength to protect others. With QiQi by your side, you will always feel safe. When gathering herbs, she always knows where to find them, because she always carries a notebook with her that has all their locations marked, lest she go out
Expert
and
swimmer.
become completely lost.
And climber.
With QiQi on your team, the mini-map will show areas where plants unique
runs like
to
Qui.
Liyue grow, making it easier to gather certain resources. QiQi's normal attack can combo up to 5 slashes, dealing physical damage to enemies. Holding the attack button consumes a set amount of stamina, and releases a 2-slash flurry, dealing high physical damage. Using QiQi's elemental skill, Herald of Frost, deals cryo damage to surrounding enemies.
Oh, it freezes them?
Nice.
Herald of Frost moves with the character, dealing damage along the way, while
Oh,
also
cool.
healing the current character periodically.
Get a little friendly orb.
While Herald of Frost is active,
Like a ghost from
normal
Destiny.
and charged attacks
I was thinking the same thing.
heal the entire party and nearby allies by a set amount based on QiQi's attack power. Not only does this increase the team's endurance, it also allows you to dominate the enemy when paired with Hydro. This skill is also useful during exploration. Using it to freeze water surfaces is a sound strategy for
Clever.
conserving stamina. After unlocking the talent Life-Prolonging Methods, when a character under the influence of Adeptus Art Herald of Frost triggers an elemental reaction, incoming healing is increased.
Sacred name, Fortune Preserver.
When QiQi releases the Adeptal power sealed
kinda
inside
AoE.
herself, she marks nearby enemies with a fortune-preserving talisman and deals cryo damage to them. When enemies marked with fortune-preserving talismans take damage, the character dealing the damage is healed. By choosing an opportunity
That's helpful.
to use
Yeah.
Adeptus Art Preserver of Fortune, the whole team can be protected while dishing out damage. After unlocking the talent A Glimpse into Arcanum, normal and charged attack hits have a chance to tag enemies with a fortune-preserving talisman, once per set time period. QiQi has the ability to constantly heal,
Cookies.
an excellent safeguard that helps keep your team alive. The more difficult the battle, the more apparent QiQi's assistance becomes. When entering battle, first use Herald of Frost to allow your team to deal constant cryo damage and easily trigger elemental reactions for greater damage. The effects of Herald of Frost will keep your team fighting fit until the right moment comes to unleash an elemental burst, allowing your team to safely unleash all the firepower they've got.
But why is she a zombie? I didn't know there were zombies in Genshin.
As a zombie, QiQi has escaped the grip of both time and death. How QiQi entered this state of existence, I do not know,
Oh.
but I doubt it was of her own volition. Are the heavenly principles toying with her, or is fate seeking to torture her?
Oh.
Is an ordinary
Ouch.
life of simple pleasures really a thing so fragile?
Well, ended on a bright note there.
Yeah.
Poor little
The
zombie girl.
stars illuminate all mortal destinies, though few have eyes to perceive their meaning. But Mona, an astrologist newly arrived in Mondstadt, is able to read the fates of others through stars reflected in the water.
Cool.
But while no phenomenon is hidden from the astrologist Mona, she struggles often with the minutiae of daily life. It is a most common predicament. The more you seek truth, the more simple joys elude you.
This was ordained by fate. Long had I foreseen it.
Mona has skill that matches her reputation, As a hydro-aligned catalyst user, she masters the battlefield with ease, controlling the situation and creating openings for her teammates to attack. As a student of all things in and under the night sky, Mona also has a strong grasp of weapon construction. In truth, she finds that most weapons are wastefully made. When she crafts weapon ascension materials, she has a chance to recover a portion of the materials used. Mona's normal attack performs up to 4 strikes that deal hydro damage.
Triple of fate.
Holding the
Good
attack
name.
button consumes a set amount of stamina and deals area of effect hydro damage after a short casting time. Mona creates a phantom of fate from coalesced water. This phantom taunts nearby enemies and deals continuous hydro damage to them. The phantom explodes when its duration expires, dealing area of effect hydro damage to enemies.
So can you attack them with somebody else while they're doing that though? Or they're like...
Causes Mona to ride a flow of water backwards and summon her phantom. This skill has many applications. The phantom can be used to taunt enemies, making them wet and priming them for attacks from Mona's allies.
Okay.
It can also help her out of a pinch. When Mona sprints, she cloaks herself in flowing water, consuming stamina to move rapidly. Ending this skill causes Mona to emerge, getting nearby enemies wet. Illusory Torrent also allows Mona to travel swiftly over water. Once her first passive talent is unlocked, Mona can create a phantom automatically.
She can get rid of those flames?
If she maintains this skill for a certain period of time with an enemy nearby.
Did she shoot him in the butt?
I think she did. Mona's not about shooting in the butt.
Mona summons sparkling waves and creates a reflection of the starry sky, applying
dancing!
and illusory bubble statuses onto all enemies in the area. When affected by illusory bubble, weaker enemies will be imprisoned and unable to move.
Sounded like illusory
Attacking
bubble.
imprisoned enemies removes that status from them and deals an instance of hydro damage. When the status is cleared, the enemy comes under an omen. Enemies affected by an omen take more damage. On the ever-changing battlefield, Mona's capacity for control cannot be overlooked. This astrologist aids her team at critical moments, controlling the field and maximizing her teammates' damage. As the battle begins, she first summons a phantom. It taunts enemies and lets her switch out,
And then else can just
using
beat
the
them up.
opening created to cooperate with her teammates and deal massive damage to enemies. She uses these combined techniques to control enemies, allowing the party to damage them safely. Once the time is right, she uses her elemental burst to entrap enemies and attacks them to trigger damage bonus effects. This way, she can defeat the weakened enemies before her all in good time.
Who's turning in fire?
Mona's hydromancy is indeed unique. No one can deny her intelligence and talent. Within Mondstadt, there are few who possess the ability and a desire to seek truth equal to hers. But beware, O young seeker.
Okay.
You must sacrifice your all to unravel the world's secrets. Can the astrologist Mona truly bear such a burden?
They always end on super happy fun times.
Yeah.
All right. So who is your favorite out of those 3?
I like them all for different reasons.
Okay.
If I had to pick the most intriguing and interesting and potential favorite, I would say QiQi.
Okay.
But I had so much admiration for Jean. Like they talked about her work ethic right away, and she had a badass element to her that I really respected. And Mona is captivating because of the whole mystical element. So there wasn't a character in this that I was kind of like, meh. They were all really cool. But I think, QiQi, again, I'm always drawn to the ones that make me ask the most questions. And with QiQi was like, wait, but why are you a zombie? And when did zombies come into the world of Genshin? And how did this happen to you? And I'm puzzled by her, which makes me extra interested.
Yeah, I liked your opening too. It was just like, I'm QiQi and I'm a zombie, and I forget what comes next.
I know. She's so cute.
I think it's between QiQi and Mona as far as my favorite out of these three. Probably leaning towards Mona. I like the way that she's able to like control the battlefield and be able to like taunt so everyone is occupied, and then you can just go beat them up while that's happening. Although with QiQi, I like the fact of the healing. Like when you every time you hit them, you gain health. So like a healer too. So I don't know. It was if I had to choose, it'd probably be Mona. It's
funny because I am often attracted to the healers in games. Like that's usually, I don't know, just when we played that game and you were a swordsman and I was like the wizard or something, but I remember like they had the healing element, and that was one of the things that drew me to that character type for a little partnership. And I forget what that game was, but yeah, healers have always had a draw for me somehow.
All right, so who do you think, so rating them 1 to 3, first your favorites, and then 1 to 3, who do you think the strongest is versus the the weakest?
QiQi, Mona, Jean.
Okay.
For favorites.
Favorites.
Mona, Jean, QiQi for strength.
Ooh, okay. Mine's Mona, QiQi, Jean for favorites, and then strength, I'm gonna go Jean, Mona, QiQi for strength. I like Jean's little like pull them together and then stab them through, and and then you can just like push people off right away. And when they were showing the attack, it seems like hers was very very fluid and everything. And so that's why I think that hers is the best. And like QiQi, I think is good as far as like a healer, and you need a healer on your team and everything like that. But she just seemed like if like it was like head to head or something like that. I think for me, QiQi, the zombie would be last in this one.
It was interesting to me also the concept around Mona of like how acquiring knowledge is a sacrifice of sort of like, at least from the impression I got on this, it was like acquiring knowledge is sacrificing your peace of mind.
Yeah.
Which is another way of saying like ignorance is bliss, which is absolutely true.
Yeah.
But it's just funny because I've always looked at acquiring knowledge as like strengthening you. Like curiosity is a great attribute to have, and like the world around you, wanting to learn more about it is great. But also what they said is kind of true in the sense of like, I just read this article. They were talking about a major discovery that's happened in the world of science. And this is coming from a non-scientist. So I'm going to put it into very layman's terms because I don't fully understand it. But it was basically talking about how like the time-space continuum is actually essentially like a hologram, that it's this like fictitious construct that we have now. And as a non-scientist, I mean, I went to college for acting. Okay, so my days in science ended in high school. But I remember I started to read this thing, and I was like, okay, I'm not understanding probably half of what they're talking about, and I can tell they're trying to like dumb it down. But the whole idea of chasing the idea of time space, only to discover that it is illusory, that it's non-existent. I was like, that kind of blew my mind. And I didn't necessarily feel, I have a loss of innocence or a loss of peace of mind per se, but it has been something that has stuck with me, and I've kind of continued to think on it in a sense. So maybe in that way, the whole peace of mind element is impacted. I don't know, but that blew my mind. So if you are a scientist and you can explain it better, please, by all means, go for it, because I know I butchered it. But that was something that came out recently as like, the science community is rocked by this. And I was like, whoa, okay. What is this? And then I tried to understand it poorly, but I tried.
So we're going to continue with these Genshin Impact Triple Trailer Tuesdays. Probably every other Tuesday is what we're going to do for the Genshin Impact character miscellanies until we get through all of them. Let us know your favorites down below in the comments. And if you want all of our Genshin Impact reactions, check out the description of this video. We got a playlist there for you. Thanks so much for checking out our reaction for Genshin Impact character miscellany for Jean, QiQi, and Mona, but just keep in mind
But our reaction is definitely not definitive.